there is a lot of complacency nowadays. And complacency is bad when you know that you are going to succeed or you're not going to have any issues, then you may feel a little bit comfortable and not try so much. So obviously having a supportive environment, having a very good foundation to start your life is great, but life is not deterministic. You are the result of your choices. There is no such thing, in my opinion, as fate. The only certain thing in life is that we all die. And
in taxes.
When you're young and you're starting out, everybody is friendly, everybody is working towards a common goal, everybody's going out together. And then as you climb up and there are less and less of you, you know, people similar to you, like with a family, I have 3 kids, people with family, women who are supposed to have more responsibilities than men, you identify the gap at that point and not earlier. Because I meet a lot of young women saying, oh, everything is great. Why? What are you fighting for? What is the purpose of you trying to increase the number of women in companies? And I say to them, wait till you get there.
On today's episode, I'm speaking with Monica Ioannidou Polemitis, partner at TKI and managing director for the EMEA region. She serves on the board of Research and Innovation Foundation of Cyprus, is a founding member and president of ICC Cyprus Women, and the author of The Data Edge, How to Compete, Lead, and Innovate with Information. Monica, welcome to the Future Makers podcast.
Thank you for the invitation. Nice to be with you.
Kierkegaard says we understand life backwards, but live it forwards. When you look back at your early years, what do you see now that prepared you for the role you have today?
So obviously, I grew up in a very supportive environment. My parents always told me that I can do it. I have leadership qualities, even if I didn't, or even if they didn't see it. They made sure to emphasize that whatever I wanted to be, I could, without any limitations. And that I appreciate that very much of the family life. Sometimes they ask me if I could go back and chat with young Monica. What would I tell her? Would I tell her everything is going to be okay? Or don't worry, you're going to make it? Because I was always anxious to succeed. I always had a strong need to do big stuff. So to this question, whether I would go back and tell young Monica, don't worry, I think I wouldn't say anything, because I would rather let her continue grinding, continue her efforts without any information about the future. Because what I see today, and we were chatting about this before, there is a lot of complacency nowadays. And complacency is bad when you know that you are going to succeed or you're not going to have any issues, then you may feel a little bit comfortable and not try so much. So obviously having a supportive environment, having a very good foundation to start your life is great, but life is not deterministic. You are the result of your choices. There is no such thing, in my opinion, as fate. The only certain thing in life is that we all die. And
taxes.
And taxes, that we're going to get taxed.
Yeah.
But the rest is up to us. So there is no magic ingredient or a recipe for success. But the success comes when we try a lot and we make sure to take every opportunity we come across in order to make.
So who were some of the role models that helped you take the path that you have taken?
So I had both female and male role models in my life. I would say that in my professional life, the vast majority were male role models. And that's a shame, actually. And this is something that we're trying to address with the associations that I'm involved in. Higher visibility of women in business, more female role models for younger women. So definitely those people who believed in me and let me do stuff and evolve professionally in my professional in my the path that I had chosen were definitely people that I admired and the people who believed in me.
Yeah.
After effort, because believing in somebody doesn't come without any foundation. So I was probably responsible for that outcome of the opportunities that I was given. But I have come across people who definitely helped me or I looked up to in order to help me progress. And of course, in my personal life, I had a very strong family. My mom was a working woman, very strong, very independent, very knowledgeable, clever. And I think it makes a big difference to have such role models in your life to look up to. So, and I always, actually, I admire also kids coming from less ideal environments who have a strong need to succeed, and they eventually do succeed if they have the need to do so, because coming from this nice environment is a good path to follow. Again, but you have to try for your fate as well. But at the same time, when you see kids coming from more difficult backgrounds, having such a strong need to survive and get out of that situation is also quite admirable. So it's for those kids that we need to have external role models, either professionally or personally.
That's very true. You grew up in Cyprus, right?
Yeah.
How do you think the Cypriot space kind of shaped or helped guide you towards the career you've kind of taken on?
I never liked the fact when I was younger of being here.
Really?
Really, because I was feeling that I wanted to do more stuff.
Yeah.
And because it's a small country, obviously you come from a bigger country, you understand this more than me. And it's an island, so we're all very well aware of borders, of boundaries. And that can make somebody feel claustrophobic or, confined, let's say, to a very small environment. And I was feeling that up to the point when I left to go and study, because I studied in Britain. And when I came back, I was always feeling that, I like living here. It's a very nice country. It's beautiful and it's sunny and it's safe. And all of the nice things that we say about Cyprus are actually true. But at the same time, I wanted to live here, but not restrict myself professionally or personally. I travel a lot, but at the same time, I always made sure to have professional ties to other countries.
Yeah.
And that was maybe one of the top reasons that I have the knowledge I have today, because I tried to get knowledge from outside into Cyprus, and it's always nice to have this combination of diverse experiences or bringing fresh perspectives from outside, especially when you live in such a small country.
Yeah.
So it shaped me in the fact that I wanted to do more stuff, to break, those barriers. And even though I was feeling a little bit more claustrophobic when I was younger, but now I think that it's an ideal environment to work out of without being confined here.
I think it's really interesting how you've kind of made the island borderless. In a way, you kind of, you're like a bird in a way. You've made your nest here, but you're very free to kind of fly out and explore and not be confined to anything and return when you need to.
Exactly. And I think as Cypriots, we all have unique perspectives as well that we can provide to the outside, because we live in a very unique country as well. As in every country, there is uniqueness. There are good things and bad things. But I think that by utilizing these experiences, we can also offer to companies outside of Cyprus perspectives as well.
So you studied in the UK, and what was your first job post-university?
I have been working since I was at school.
Oh, nice.
I did, I think, most of the jobs that you can think of. I have done them, which is great because every one of them, each one of them gave me something to, assess an experience, obviously. So when I was at school, I was helping out in the tourism sector. I was escorting tourists to various sites. I was working at summer schools for young kids. That made me quite responsible. And also gave me a very clear idea that I don't want kids at a young age. I saw what it entails.
I mean, to be honest, summer school is the worst kind of experience.
Yes, I think teenagers shouldn't have. No, I'm joking because my kids also work at summer schools now, so it's a very good experience. But my first real job, even though at university I was always working as well as a waitress at advice centers at universities, my first job was teaching and writing for a newspaper. I had this idea of wanting to become a journalist because my studies were actually a very good foundation for that. And I always liked researching stuff, learning about new stuff, and going beyond the knowledge that is available at the time. Of course, you can understand that in 2003, finding information was an expedition.
Yeah.
But that was quite useful. But then the consulting world came about, and I realized that that's probably my path. It happened. The opportunities came. I took them. I started working at a Big Four company, at the financial advisory, doing something a little bit different to the rest of the team. And I stayed there for almost 15 years. So that was the core of my professional experience.
I want to talk about women in your kind of working environment. What was the balance of genders when you were beginning to work, and what was the power structures like?
So obviously the presence of women at executive levels was less than it is today. Even today is not where it's supposed to be, obviously, but that was even less. So that was a clear gap, I would say. But to be honest, I never noticed it until I started climbing up the so-called corporate ladder. When I started competing in quotation marks for positions at a higher level, at a more executive level, because when you're young and you're starting out, everybody is friendly, everybody is working towards a common goal, everybody's going out together. And then as you climb up and there are less and less of you, people similar to you, like with a family. I have 3 kids. People with family, women who are supposed to have more responsibilities than men. You identify the gap at that point and not earlier. Because I meet a lot of young women saying, "Oh, everything is great. Why? What are you fighting for? What is the purpose of you trying to increase the number of women in companies?" And I say to them, wait till you get there and you will understand. So I never noticed it. And probably that, lack of awareness of danger or, this bravado or the... let's say, not identifying the obstacles was probably great because it didn't keep me back at all. And also I was working with people who I don't think ever noticed the gender. And that was amazing because we're talking about men in executive positions in their 50s. So it could have been something completely different. But I showed up. I proved that it was okay to trust me. I was okay with the responsibilities, and I managed to progress. But that didn't happen for everybody. And I understand now that as women, we have this, let's say, we are less aware of our of what we bring to the table. So we communicate it less, or in a less, let's say, in a manner that is not so visible to everybody. So if you are quieter or more timid, you're probably not going to have as many opportunities as somebody who is, trying to, full force, a go-getter, let's say. So we need to advocate for those, that first group as well.
You mentioned you had children. Did you ever feel like social pressure, or, because you were very, passionate about your career and growing? Was there still like a discussion like behind closed doors, or did you feel any social pressure about, trying to balance the two?
No.
No?
No, because so in general, and I don't want to sound like I don't care about what people say, or I don't take it into consideration, but whatever I hear, or whatever the consensus might be around me, I try to take everything with a grain of salt and filter it and understand how it's impacting me. So I never really, whatever I wanted to do, as long as my husband and the father of my children is on board, then we are fine.
Yeah.
And he was always on board, and he was always my strongest supporter, in addition to my parents, of course. But he could have said, I'm a man, and, I have my career as well. But it was a very good combination that we agreed from the beginning that we both have careers. I was probably 100%, 100 times rather, more ambitious always, and I wanted to do even more stuff all the time. So as long as he was on board and we had this communication between us, that was okay. The rest of the society can have other arrangements within their homes, but the important thing is who you team up with at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I think a support network is so important. And it just,
absolutely.
And I feel like what I'm getting from your story is that you've always felt that supportive network. And it's, and I think this is kind of what I feel like you're trying to do with ICC Women. Do you want to tell me about the organization?
So ICC Cyprus Women is an association under the Cyprus Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And it consists of women executives. So women who have similar experiences to me, or even different, but they've managed to, let's say, and I don't want to coin terms, but broke the glass ceiling, let's say, and they managed to get there regardless of whoever thought about what. So we understand that we've got here and now we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to increase the number of women who manage to get to executive positions or leadership positions in general, key decision-making positions and posts. And this is the main mandate of the association, to increase that by sharing knowledge, awareness raising among companies, decision makers, associations, or social partners like employers, associations, and so on. And we work with the Commissioner for Gender Equality and other organized groups in order to identify opportunities for women and fill the gap that is still quite obvious in Cyprus companies or in parliament, in the government. And we're hoping that through our work, the situation improves.
Yeah. Has there been any noticeable changes, any impact that you've seen, even however small?
I would say that at grassroots level, there is a big difference. So I see now younger women are very much aware that they can do whatever they want to do with their professional lives. There is no social pressure as much as it was, 20 years ago. So at grassroots, everybody is, let's say, working towards this common goal to get those women who are able and capable to the positions that they deserve. From the top down now, there is a big issue because bottom up, it's great. Top down, there's still a lot of obstacles or lack of awareness about why we need more women or why gender shouldn't be important, what to do in order to bypass these gaps, to fill the gaps. And for example, one of the let's say ways to get to where we need to get faster, so equal representation faster than in 140 years or whatever we need to get to, is through quotas. So to, let's say, fix a number of positions or a percentage of positions for women. And that creates a big debate, obviously, because that could be a very good thing, or it could create another kind of problem by limiting men who can get to specific positions because they are reserved for women. So it's a big conversation. It's something that if it happens, it needs to happen in a very careful way. And as a measure, it has to be not permanent, but has to be abolished after we reach the goal. And of course, as I said, I have 3 kids. I have a daughter, but I also have 2 boys.
Yeah.
And I don't want any of them to be discriminated. I want everybody to fulfill their purpose to the extent where they are capable. I don't want anybody to come to my daughter and say, sorry, you're a woman, go and have your babies now, and we'll promote just men. But at the same time, I don't want anybody to tell my sons, listen, you are worthy of this position, but we're promoting a woman over you because of this, quota. So it's a conversation, it's a debate. In order to, I think through conversation, honest conversation and realization of why we need to be mindful of gender diversity is something that might be able to help us with the top down, because again, grassroots, everybody knows that if they want, they can.
Yeah. I think you're working in a sector that is gender there's still such a gap in like roles. You're working with tech, you're working with data, which, there is so few women within the field. How do you kind of see the sector playing out in Cyprus? Do you think there's still a large data gap? And how do you envision trying to encourage more women to come into the sector?
I think this is a global issue, actually. Yeah. I think the technology world is male-dominated, from what I see, even in Cyprus. So Cyprus is no exception to this, even though there are some amazing women around that are in the technology world that I come across, and I admire all of them. I think it all starts with school and the chase of studies. Unfortunately, it's not. There is no fast path to solve this problem. Obviously, in order to get here, you've started from somewhere. Having said that, I'm a non-technical person working in technology, so not everything is determined. So I'm not saying that women who want to be involved with technology all have to be coders, all have to be developers. We can all work in technology, but in different roles. So again, if we want more women, more technical women, we have to push them when they're choosing their studies. And many of them, as I hear, don't choose technology as a degree or a technological degree because they fear that they might be alone or they might be the only woman there, which is a little bit strange to me when I think about it, because we don't choose our paths depending on who is going to be sitting next to us. Repeating these cliches is not helpful. we should be very, very clear to people when they're choosing their degrees that choose whatever you want, whatever you like, first of all, because that's super important. I'm having these conversations now with my daughter because she's finishing school. So I know what is going on in the head now of the parent and the kid. So choosing a degree because you like something is great. If you like coding or technology of any sort, and now there are so many opportunities, then go for it. Don't think about who are going to be your friends, because you don't need to have friends, girlfriends in your classroom in order to have a good time. There are so many women at university in any case. So, and going back to me not being technical, even though I've tried hard and spent a lot of time learning to code, even though I will never practice it. I've learned just 2 years ago. I say that if you want to be part of this technological boom that is going on, it doesn't mean that you can only be part of it if you're a developer.
Yeah.
I'm finding now, because I've always, the other thing in addition to me being female in a male-dominated world, my worry sometimes was that I like technology so much. I've always been part of the innovation spectrum, but I wasn't technical. And sometimes I was feeling a little bit less relevant in the room because I was not technical. But now I'm finding that, especially now that with artificial intelligence, that my background is probably super valuable because it allows me to see stuff from a very different point of view than just a coder. So there is space for everybody if we, grasp the opportunities and we try to understand how that world is relevant to us.
Yeah. I mean, you went from a non-technical background to writing a book that is kind of devoted to technology and data. Can you tell me a little bit about the book?
So I love data. I've always loved data from university because statistics was part of my degree. So I'm non-technical, but data as a statistical analysis, understanding of real-world results, election results. One of my degrees was politics. Was always a big part of my reality, both at university and during my work. I've carried out big projects related to data. And so that's one of my passions. So when I set up my company, I thought that the company should have a central purpose around data. And this is actually what we are doing. It's technology around data infrastructure. So this is why I wrote the book. When I wrote the book, I wanted to learn more about the technical frameworks around data infrastructure in a more technical manner, because I knew it from a data analysis perspective, but now we're doing the data architecture perspective. And I find that when you try to explain something to somebody else, either via a book or sometimes via the video content or the Substack articles that I write, I learn a lot as well. So I thought, okay, since I'm learning, why not write the book? I will learn even more. And this is how it came about, actually, through my learning journey.
That's beautiful. And how has the world kind of taken it? Have you received any feedback?
Yes, actually, it's available in Amazon, so the feedback is global.
Yeah,
it's not restricted to Cyprus. I'm not sure. I haven't promoted it as much in Cyprus. I gave it as a gift to my clients. Because we are working, the methodologies that I'm describing in the book are the ones that they are experiencing as clients. It's like a way to tell them, listen, this is an actual methodology that we are following.
There's proof here.
There is proof. There is a reference here. So, it's doing well. I'm actually considering my second one now.
Nice.
On artificial intelligence, which is becoming an even bigger part of my life now. It's an amazing thing that how it's turning out to be. And because I have all of these ideas in my head that one day I'm saying that my mind is going to explode from the content, the ideas that I have. So I want to put them on paper. I'm thinking of writing it in Greek, actually,
nice.
because there is not much content
There
in Greek.
isn't. I was just going to say, and that is one of the, I feel like this big gap is, there isn't that much content available for Greek speakers. And I think this would be brilliant reference point for them.
And, because of artificial intelligence and because artificial intelligence learns from the internet and the content that is out there, if we stop feeding it other languages, it will just stop learning. It will just start recycling old information. So I think that's why sometimes I strive. I like making content in English because I see from my statistics, I don't have many followers in YouTube, but I see from the statistics that the viewers are usually from the United States or United Kingdom or India, so they're not Greek speakers.
Yeah.
So I try to make the content in English, but sometimes I say to myself, listen, I need to start making more in Greek because it's a shame to stop speaking the language altogether.
Yeah.
And this is what will happen eventually if we stop doing that.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very English-centric, the current debate. And I think it's important to kind of create this community and to make it more inclusive in that, like, you promote more languages discussing these kind of topics.
It's in Cyprus it's a little bit tricky because I think we speak better in English rather than in Greek. I don't know if you can assess that as a non-Greek or non-original Greek speaker, let's say. But I travel a lot in Athens because we have some activities there. And when I go to events, and they are very, very good percentage in Greek, I'm amazed about the impact the content has on me because it's in my native language. It feels different. I understand it even better. And I think it's great that it's out there. And I think we should be striving to do more of that.
More, definitely. You mentioned your startup. So you recently moved away from the corporate world and started something of your own. Tell me about that journey.
So yes, at some point I thought, okay, now this is the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't a difficult decision, actually. It clicked.
Yeah.
I was just ready to be on my own, to be the master of my fate, as they say. So I created the company in 2024. I gave up the corporate world, even though I still carry it within the company and the lessons learned from the corporate world, obviously, still continue to be there. But TKI, which was then called Hybrid Consultech, was created in 2024. I was witnessing and I wanted to be part of that technology revolution that I could see coming. And I was drifting a little bit further away from the core of that technological boom. And I thought, okay, now it's the time. I could see I'm always an early adopter of technology. So I was using AI for a while when I made the decision, for a year, when I made the decision in December 2023. And I wanted to have a technology company. This was my motto, that I want to be on my own and I want to create a technology company. And I did. And earlier this year, it merged with a company in the United States called TKI. Now, this is why my company is called TKI now. So I have technical partners in my technology company, which works out well. Yes, so when I am now partner at the US holding company, which is great. It's given me even more opportunities to grow the company faster than I expected. And we focus on data infrastructure, architecture that will allow companies to have AI eventually through a better structuring of their internal environment.
Lovely. Let's talk about leadership. What kind of leader do you think you are? What are the values that kind of push your leadership?
That's an interesting question. I want to believe that I'm somebody who is fair and open to discussion. And I think those two are very important when you're working with people, younger people who are at the early stages of their career. So I want to be that. I hope I am. Somebody else will have to make the assessment. But I want to be someone who people look up to in a good way. You know, I don't want to be, seen as a queen or anything like that, out of touch with reality. But I want to be a good role model. I'm always mindful of that. Actually, I want to have a good image that is, of course, realistic. But I am well aware that younger people, or even older people than me, are watching, and they want to, younger people maybe identify or learn from. So I am quite mindful of how I come across.
Lovely. So when you think about the future and the kind of future you want to build here in Cyprus and globally for women, but also for men and for anybody, like you said, watching you, what is that future?
I want my kids to have a reason to live here. So eventually I want this country to be, and I think it is, but I want it to be even better, obviously. Have more opportunities and be fair to those who try. I don't want it, for example, to depend on, relationships, personal relationships, fraud. We don't want that for our country. We want anybody who has the potential to succeed to have the opportunity to do so.
Lovely. Thank you. That was brilliant. That very, very inspiring. And you, like you mentioned, you're a very positive person. I could feel it, like just sitting here, just like the warmth, like radiating out of you.
I'm glad.
Monica, thank you for coming on to the Future Makers podcast. It's been such a pleasure and so inspiring. I'm glad that we have such an inspiring figure here in Cyprus for younger women or anybody of any age to look towards, to be able to have that motivation and inspiration to kind of grow and go into careers that they may not be very confident yet to step into, but maybe this conversation will help push them along that way. So thank you.
You're welcome. And to comment on your final point about confidence, nobody is 100% confident ever.
Yeah.
Nobody has it all figured out, because sometimes when younger people see people in some positions, they say, oh, what a wonderful thing. She knows what she's doing. She has it all figured out. We don't know. Nobody has it all figured out. And it's great, because if you have it all figured out and you have confidence, it means that you're in a comfort zone and you shouldn't be there.
Exactly. You should always be challenging. Yeah. Challenging yourself, walking on the thin line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Join us for our next episode at the Future Makers podcast.